Hello everyone, this is Anna. In this video, I wanted to do a flip through of the Eigengrau Oracle deck created by Mike Sette of Somnambulant Visuals. I recently got this deck from the Rage Create store. They did a limited drop, and I haven't really worked with this deck yet. I had a really quick look, but I want to go through it in more detail for the first time with you today. So here is the box. Everything is really nice and simple. I really love the way Mike designs all his products. He has a really unique style, and it's not the kind of deck that I would usually feel drawn to, but there's something about this deck that really spoke to me, that was calling my name, and I knew when the offer came up at the Rage Create store, I knew immediately that I needed to get this deck. So it's all black and white and shades of gray, and there's kind of a philosophy behind it as well. We interviewed Mike on our Deck Creators podcast last year, and he talked about this more specifically. It was really fascinating to hear like the concept behind Eigengrau. I think I'll read a little bit from the guidebook later. It explains what it means, but also, you know, the idea that actually, even though initially you might say this is a black and white deck, it's actually a lot more than that. We have black and white and all the shades in between. So without further ado, let's open the box. And oh yeah, so here is the explanation of the word Eigengrau. This is a German word. I actually grew up speaking German, and so I kind of know what it means, but I didn't know, you know, the more specific meaning. So Eigengrau, the dark gray color seen by the eyes in perfect darkness as a result of signals from the optic nerves. It's really fascinating. Okay, so here's the guidebook, and really simple design here on the back. I'm going to put the box aside for a second. Let's just have a look at the guidebook. I love these little details. It's kind of like a coloring page here on the inside cover. And I don't think it's meant to be that, but kind of a larger format and different type of paper. This would be a really fun coloring page. Really meditative. And yeah, so the layout is really simple, but again, beautifully designed. Mike is a graphic designer by trade, so he definitely knows what he's doing. And I'm probably going to read from the guidebook a little bit later. I will pull a card at the end of this video as well. Okay, now let's look at the cards. I'm just going to take them out of the box. So this is a 33 card deck, and I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more. When you look at the cards, first of all, here are the card fronts, the sides. There's no gilding here. And I feel like that's really consistent with the vibe of the deck. There is a little bit of metallic foil on the cover. You may or may not see it. Yeah, I think you can see it. But other than that, it's just really simple and minimal, and I really like that. And so when you look at the card fronts, you can see that each front has basically two sides. So this is kind of the upside and the downside, or whatever, however you want to see it. It's not like a tarot deck where, you know, there's actual reversals. It's more like two aspects of the same thing, and you'll see examples of that. So it's not like positive and negative necessarily. It's just different aspects of the same principle or the same thing. And I don't know if I already mentioned this, but this deck has 33 cards. Here's the first card. So the upside is matter, and then down here we have void, or if you flip it the other way around, then we got the void up here and matter down here. And I'm just gonna flip through the whole deck. I'm not gonna comment on all the cards, but I'm just gonna show you a few more while talking, and then after that I will just show you the rest with some music in the background. So we have order and chaos as a pairing. Then we have the atom and the bond, sun and the moon, night and day, intracellular and intercellular, singular and collective. This is really interesting. So we start with a singular cell and then the collective of cells as an example. And I want to say too that Mike is currently working on a new deck, a tarot deck, and it's really fascinating to watch the process. He is also in our deck creators community. You can find us at deckcreators.com. That's where we support other creators on their journey of bringing their card decks to life. And he shares bits and pieces of his process, but he also shares on social media, on Instagram. I'll leave the link for you down below. And he has a really unique way of interpreting, coming up with ideas for designs, and you can see that with his tarot deck as well, if you're curious about checking it out. So we have inhale and exhale. We have tree and seed, fruit and roots, body and mind, feminine and masculine, offspring and parents. These are sticking a little bit here, or maybe it's just the way I pick them up. Open and closed, consciousness and ego, object and shadow. Okay, now I'm just going to flip through the rest of the cards a little faster with music in the background, and then I'll pull a card from the deck after that. Okay, so I've flipped through all the cards. Now I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck and pull one card, or maybe two. We'll see how many want to come out. And I'll ask for a message for everyone who watches this video. If you like, you can set an intention or ask a question for this reading, and then simply allow yourself to receive whatever resonates with you the most. Okay, so here's our card. It is number 1 in the deck, Void and Matter. All right, now I feel like I just want to read from the book, and then maybe I'll add a few more thoughts, but I just feel like this deck is so profound and there's so much that went into it. I would really love to hear what Mike, the creator of this deck, says about this card. So here's the guidebook, and I'll just read from the book and let you look at the card. So matter and void. The symbols that appear in matter and void reflect spontaneous generation, the spontaneous, perhaps divine, creativity that is present in all things. Even though everything is interconnected and everything is dependent on what has come before it, there is a spark when something is created. From the Big Bang to the smallest thought that pops into our brains, everything seems to flow from nothing to something. When we connect with this energy, we connect the nature of the universe. Void represents the space that holds everything. The infinitesimal atoms that make up the entire universe are filled with space. The void is not emptiness. The void is the container. Space is as important as substance. There is the stuff and there is the space. Both are mutually exclusive, yet completely inextricable. And then when you look at the guidebook, you can see there's some keywords here. I'll just read those as well. So, matter, substance, form, raw creation, emergence, essence, action, stuff. And then the void, nothingness as something, consciousness, emptiness, container, waiting, space. So I'll let you receive from this whatever speaks to you the most. But it definitely resonates with me, kind of based on where I'm at in my journey right now. I feel like today especially, I'm really getting this sense of, there's been a lot moving lately. And this morning I was kind of, wanting to do something productive, but I felt like actually I just needed to create some space to integrate, and like my mind wanted to do something, but my body was just saying, you know what, just gotta rest. And that space is really important, because when we don't have space, when we're constantly doing and constantly in action, or constantly focusing on the things and the substance of things, then we create an imbalance where we can't, just be still. And in the stillness we can receive, in the space, the empty space, we can receive, and the unseen can work on our behalf. And so that's really two parts of the magic of life, and both are important. There needs to be a balance. And I think this is, in a lot of ways, what this deck is all about, too. All right, this is everything I have for you in this video. If you enjoyed this card deck, then I'm going to leave the link for you down below. Also, if you have an idea for a card deck that you want to create, or you already have a finished deck and you're ready to take it to the next level with your sales and expanding your business, then I would love for you to come into our deck creators community at deckcreators.com, where we support other creators on their journey of bringing their vision for their own card deck to life. I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to be back with more very soon.